Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. That's right, it's Dave, Renegade Gig Hustler. Back to talk to you about a good topic. You're going to want to see this. You're not going to want to miss this. This is a must watch. I'm going to make two videos. The first one being this one here, good customers versus bad customers. In my second video, which will precede this video, will be good gig drivers versus bad gig drivers. I'm talking Ubereats, Doordash, any of the gig apps. As you all know, that all customers are not created equal, and neither are gig drivers. You have your good drivers and your bad drivers, but that's for the next video. So anyhow, I want to tell you a story of something that happened to me, and I'm going to compare two different types of customers to you, and these are actual customers with no names mentioned. This particular incident happened to me last Saturday. So I'm doing Uber Eats, and I'm going to tell you about something that took place and with a particular customer and how I tried to accommodate her in every way. And this, what I'm telling you about, or about to tell you about, is just about customers. So if you want to hear about the drivers, stay tuned for the next video. So last Saturday is when this all took place. So without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome back, guys. So anyhow, what happened was I was sitting there waiting on orders. I had Uber Eats running, I had DoorDash running, and a bunch of literal garbage trips were coming in. When I say garbage trips, I'm talking $3 orders, $4 orders, going 12 miles, 13 miles, 10 miles, whatever. They weren't paying me worth my time, and I wasn't taking them. They were declines. So needless to say, I finally get an order here on DoorDash that I felt was maybe worth taking. Although, when I looked at the area that it was going to on the other side of Monroeville, I didn't like the apartment community that it was going to, because I have a lot of problems with the customers there. And this is where it all begins. Last Saturday, approximately about 11:30, I get one, and I accept it. And I go to the restaurant and I pick up the customer's order. I'm standing in the restaurant and I had some wait time, so I notified the customer through the messaging on the driver app that her food was not yet ready and that I was waiting and that I didn't mind waiting. And she told me thank you and I'm sorry about that. And I said, no problem, I'm waiting on your food. I'll let you know when I'm on my way. I said, also, when I get there, I'm going to need your 4-digit PIN. Now, you got to remember, guys, why customers have PINs. Either they claimed at one time or another they didn't get their food, or Uber Eats assigned them a PIN because they got tired of the customer saying they didn't get their food. So one of two types of scenarios where the customer claims they didn't get their food, they will have a PIN. And if you got a PIN, you know you have a PIN, and you'll know your PIN. So I pick up the order finally, and I'm on my way. I get in the vehicle, I complete the pickup, and I message the customer and I let them know, hey, I got your food, I'm on my way, I'll be there, see you shortly. Don't forget, I'll need your 4-digit PIN. Now that's two times, guys, I reminded her that I needed her PIN. So I get all the way over there, which didn't take me long, and I get to the property, which is an apartment community, and I notice on the note on the Uber Eats app that she only gives the building number. There was no apartment letter in each of these buildings. In each one of the buildings in this property, there is a building number and there are apartment letters. There's a bunch of apartments in each building. So I'm parked out front of her place and in front of the building, and I call her on the phone and I say to her, hey, Uber Eats, I'm here with your food. I noticed that you just gave the building number. If you tell me the apartment number, I'll make sure it gets right to your door. And I'm also going to need the 4-digit PIN. For the third time, I told her. She says to me, can you make sure that the food gets to my door, because every time someone comes to deliver, it doesn't get to my door. And I told her the reason for that being is you don't have an apartment letter listed. You need to go on your Uber Eats app and update your address and put your apartment letter on there so that never happens to you again. And she says to me, it is on there. I said, no, it is not on there. And I can show you on my app that it's not on here. And then I can hand you your food and you can give me your 4-digit PIN. She says, no, leave it at my door. And she gave me the apartment letter. I said, I'm coming in the building. I'm in front of your door. I could hear her at her door. There was these wooden doors on the place, and I could hear her talking to me on the other side of the door. And I said, I'm right here. And I heard her talking to me on the other side of the door. And I said, ma'am, I need your PIN. And she said to me, I don't have no damn PIN. I said, yes, you do, ma'am. You need to look on your app. And I said, while you're in there, you can maybe update your address too. I said, but right now I need the 4-digit PIN to leave the food. Again, she said, I don't have no PIN. Leave the food at my door. I says, you have a good day, ma'am. So she's talking to me on the other side of the door, mind you. So I leave and exit the building. I come out to my vehicle in the parking lot, and I attempt to complete the order on the Uber Eats app. And I don't have a PIN. So I looked in the driver app and went into where you put the PIN at. And underneath of it, from doing Uber Eats, as long as I've done it for over 4.5 years, you know, right below there it says I need help. You click that link, and then in another section, it will give you options. One of the options is it's delivered. I clicked it's delivered. But what I didn't tell you was, while I was in there, and what customers don't know is I carry a dash cam. I carry a body cam. On the Uber Eats app at time, it will ask you if you can snap a picture. This time, it didn't ask me to snap a picture. So I snapped the picture on my body cam. So we got the picture. I complete the order. I jump back into my Jeep Renegade, and I attempt to head out the road. While I headed out the road, not far, just a couple minutes down the road, I get 2 more orders. One for Chipotle, one for Panda Express. One's here and one's here. So I'm attempting to drive over there, and I'm sitting at the red light waiting to cross over the highway, and I get a call. Guess who? It's this woman, and she says to me, where did you leave the food? I says, ma'am, you know I left your food. I was right on the other side of the door talking to you, and you told me to leave it at your door. I was asking you for the PIN number, and you told me you didn't have a PIN, but you cussed at me. I did nothing like that, she said. I said, you sure did, ma'am, and you know I left the food. I said, now, come on now, ma'am. And she says to me, come on. She says, I need my food. I says, ma'am, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm working, I'm on my way to get other customers' food, and you're being dishonest, and I'm going to end this call and let Uber Eats know. And she said, you're going to do what? I said, ma'am, I snapped a picture of the food at your door. She hung up on me. Naturally, she hung up on me. You know why she hung up on me? Because customers like her scam the system, scam Uber Eats, scam DoorDash, and scam the driver. And remember one thing, guys, and keep one thing in mind. Everything always comes back on the driver. So why did I snap that picture? To protect me. Well, anyhow, I continue on with my deliveries through the course of the day. And I did a slew of deliveries through the course of the day last Saturday. And never thought about it again. So I finally end my day and go home at a certain time. I believe it was around 4 o'clock. And hours later, mind you, hours later, I'm in my living room sitting on the sofa with my wife and having conversation with my wife. All of a sudden, guys, mind you, this is hours later, and I would like to know if this has ever happened to any of you guys hours later, or if anything remotely like this has happened to you. Please leave it in the comment box below. Put it in the comment box below and let me know what you have to say or feel, or if what you've experienced. So I'm sitting on the sofa with my wife, and my phone rings, and I see it's Uber Eats. I'm like, what the heck? What are they calling me for? Not giving anything any thought, guys. Not even thinking about this rotten, terrible customer. And Uber Eats gets on the phone with me and says, David, we would like to know something and wondered if we could talk to you for a few minutes. And I says, yeah, what is this about? She says, well, we noticed here that you did a delivery earlier, and we're trying to make sure it's delivered. And I says, well, sure. I said, what delivery are you talking about? And she said, well, I have a woman on the other side of the line, and I wondered if we could go on a three-way call. You did a delivery earlier to this such and such address. And I said, oh, yeah, I remember. I said, she was terrible. I said, she did not have her apartment letter on the app for the driver to know where to deliver it at. She also had to give a 4-digit PIN, which she didn't supply, because she claimed she didn't have a PIN, and she cussed at me, but I won't repeat what she said. She had me repeat what the woman said to me, and I said she told me she didn't have no damn PIN. I was standing outside the woman's door, and I could hear her on the other side of the door talking to me on the phone, but also telling me that she didn't have no PIN. So the woman said to me, I said, I pulled up to the building and called her on the phone. I tried to accommodate her in every way. I messaged her from the restaurant. I told her I was waiting on her phone, and I was waiting on her food, and I told her I would be there momentarily, and 4 different times I told her I needed a PIN. When I got to her building, I called her again and told her she didn't have her apartment letter on there, and she got fussy and told me that it was on there, and we all know it's not. And I asked her to go into her settings and change her address and include her apartment letter, so it never happened again. I said, she's trying to scam me, she's trying to scam you, and why do you think she has a PIN? Then she put the woman on the phone, and the woman proceeded to get loud and boisterous and tell me that she didn't get her food and everything else. And I said, you know, ma'am, you got your food. You know you got your food. You know I was on the other side of the door. You precisely know that I asked you for your PIN number. And then when you wouldn't supply it, I left your food and told you to have a nice day. But what you didn't know was that I snapped a picture. So, tell me what you think, guys. Have you ever encountered anybody like Ubereats Doordash calling you hours later when you finished your shift? The woman became so loud and trying to overtalk all of us that the Uber Eats customer support woman disconnected the call. So, I never heard another word about it. Uber never asked me to supply the photo because they know on their end they didn't ask me to take a picture to begin with. They know, and I sent them back a message and told them that I will give them the picture. They said no, that was not necessary to keep up the good work and keep doing what I'm doing. So that was the end of it, guys. Now that is a terrible scum of the earth person that constantly scams the system, and she needs to be tossed off the app. Any gig app where she orders and tries to scam us drivers and cause us problems with our jobs. So let me know in the comments below what you think and what you feel, and if this has ever happened to you before. Tell me your experience. I'm going to tell you about one more thing about a good customer. In fact, a superb customer, and I have plenty. I have customers that are a joy to deliver to, whether it's shop and pays, food order, packages, whatnot. I have a particular customer that stays at a hotel here in town periodically. Same room, same hotel. She comes here for medical treatment, and every time she's here I get slews of orders for her on particular days. Whether it be a food order, run into CVS, run into Target, run into Rite Aid, Walgreens, Office Depot, Best Buy, whatever. And she always tells me she wishes she could request me. She's great to me. She's very nice. And I accommodate her in every step of the way. She tips me very nicely. And she tells me, you deserve this. You're wonderful. You carried all these packages in one time? And I said, yeah. And we have conversation, and I tell her, you take care of yourself. I'll see you next time around. She is a superb customer. She is a joy of a customer, and if I was rating customers on a scale of 1 to 10, she is an 11. So anyhow, guys, good customers versus bad customers, there you have it. There's two scenarios in a nutshell, and I would like to know what you think, what you've ever experienced, and how you went about it if you were faced with what I had. So leave it in the comments. And if you're new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed, consider subscribing. Hit the like button, and while you're at it, hit the alert bell. I would greatly appreciate it. If you would like to see other videos like this, check out my last video about are all marketplaces equal? And stay tuned for the next video after this, good gig drivers versus bad gig drivers. So anyhow, guys, I hope you're all well, and I hope you all have a great day. I appreciate you for watching. Until later, take care.